everybody. I hope everyone had a great weekend and got outside and enjoyed the great weather. Before we get started here, I want to do a little shout out for my friend Clara, who lives in my neighborhood, and I got to see her outside enjoying the beautiful weather this weekend. So I know she's watching, and I wanted to say hello. Hi, Clara. Now let's get started with our calendar. Do you remember the name of our new month? We said hello to it last week, and it is May. May is our new month. It starts with the big letter M. Do you hear that M in that word? May. May is our month. All right, let's see where we are in May. 1, 2, 3. Let's put our 3 down. There we go. Now let's see what day of the week we're on. Sunday. Whoops. Sunday. Do we do circle time on Sundays? No, we don't. That is part of the weekend. It is the first day of the week, but we don't do school things on that day. So that is not today. That was yesterday. So let's see, what number is going to come after 3? Oh, I should hear all of you yelling 4. And I think most of you know that because most of you have just turned from 3 to 4. Okay, let's see what day of the week we're on now. Sunday, Monday. Ooh, today is Monday, Monday, Monday. Today is Monday all day long. We're gonna have a happy day, happy day, happy day. We're gonna have a happy day all day long. Today is Monday, May 4th. Monday also starts with the letter M. See, they have the same letter at the beginning. Monday. All right, let's take a look at our weather. I'm peeking out there, and you know what? Today is something that I would call overcast. It means when you look up there, you don't see lots of little fluffy clouds. Just kind of the whole sky is covered in clouds. There's no bright sunshine shining through. So we're gonna put a clip on cloudy today. Oh, but something magical is happening up here now. How many clips do we have on sunny? 1. How many do we have on cloudy? 1. These 2 are equal. They are the same number. 1 and 1. They are equal. So hopefully tomorrow we'll start adding more to sunny and we'll get a nice long sunny chain again. But who knows? We never know. All right, today, and actually pretty much all this week, we are going to be talking about insects and bugs. Oops, let me grab my glasses. There we go. And today I wanted to talk about this little garden friend. What is that? It is an ant. And an ant is an insect. Now the way you can spot an insect is the easiest way is all insects have 6 legs. If you see a bug and it has 6 legs, then it is called an insect. Now also, insects do not have bones. They have kind of a hard shell on the outside of their body instead of having bones on the inside. And then one more way you can tell an insect is it has 3 distinct body parts. 1, 2, 3. The first part up here is the head. Everybody knows the head. That's where the eyes would be. If the insect has antennas, that's where the antennas would be. The middle section of the body is called I think it's thorax, I was right. That is called the thorax, and that is where the legs come off of. So if you have an insect and it has the 6 legs, it's going to come off the middle part of the body called the thorax. Also, if you have an insect with wings, they would come off that section too. Now the back part back here, that is called the abdomen, and that is like the insect's tummy. And that is where it digests all its food. And also, if it's an insect that has a stinger, it would be at the back of the abdomen. So I know those are three kind of big words, but it helps you find and be able to spot an insect versus just a plain bug. So, but the biggest way is 6 legs. An ant is an insect, and let's see what it says about it. These wood ants live in a big nest with thousands of others. Each ant has its own job to do. Some ants take care of the eggs and clean the nest. Other ants search for food in the woods. They carry insects back to the nest to feed the young. Ants are pretty amazing creatures. I was doing a little reading on them yesterday so I could share some interesting information with you. And I found out that there are over 12,000, that's a really big number, different types of ants. Some of them don't even have eyes. Most of them do. But you know what? None of them have ears. Ants do not have ears. The way they know if some danger's approaching on them is they can feel the vibration on the ground as something's approaching, coming up on them. Also, ants are the longest living insects. Some insects only live for a few days, few weeks, some only a few hours. These guys can live up to 30 years. That is a long, long time for an insect. But the coolest thing about ants is they are one of the strongest creatures on Earth. Believe it or not, when they carry around leaves and clumps of dirt and different particles of food, they can carry up to 20 times their own body weight, which means they are really, really strong. It would be like a second grader would be able to lift a car. Yeah, that is how strong ants are. They are so cool. I have a fun book I want to read to you. You might have even seen this book before, and you know what? Unfortunately, the book's really not about ants because I couldn't find any good ant books. I think they were already checked out. But there are ants that come as guests to Miss Spider's tea party. So let's take a look at this book. It is one of my favorites. I used to read this one to my girls when they were little. They loved this book. One lonely spider sipped her tea while gazing at the sky. She watched the insects on the leaves and many flying by. If I had friends like these, she sighed, who'd stay a while with me, I'd sit them down on silken chairs and serve them cakes and tea. She wants some friends to have a tea party. 2 timid beetles, Ike and May, crept from the woodwork that same day. But when Miss Spider begged, please stay, they shrieked, oh no, and dashed away. Why do you think they're afraid of a spider? Do spiders like to eat beetles? Yes, they do. These fireflies flew inside that night, their spirits high, their tails alight. They spied the web and squeaked in fear. We'd better get away from here. The little trio did not feel they'd care to be a spider's meal. Spiders love to eat other insects. And I say other insects, spiders aren't even insects. We'll talk about that later this week. 4 bumblebees buzzed by outside. Please come to tea, Miss Spider cried. The 4 ignored her swaying there. She waved a tea towel in the air. She took a cup and tapped at the glass. Then one bee spoke to her at last. We would be fools to take our tea with anyone so spidery. Aw, Miss Spider looks sad. Within the shadows of the room, just peeking from behind a broom, 5 grinning faces bobbed and peered. Miss Spider smiled, her heart was cheered. Descending for a closer look, she danced into the gloomy nook, but sadly found those jolly mugs belonged, alas, to rubber bugs. Oh, they're not even real. They're just pretend bugs. I was all excited for a moment. Some ants strode in. They numbered 6, but ants with spiders will not mix. She brewed them tea from hips of roses. The proud platoon turned up their noses. They're those ants I was talking about. But they don't want to eat with Miss Spider either. They're afraid they're going to be eaten by her. A fine bouquet concealed its prize of 7 dainty butterflies. Miss Spider, watching from the wall, was not aware of them at all. Why do you think she didn't see them? They're kind of camouflaged, aren't they? Those roses and flowers are so colorful, and so are the butterflies. She doesn't even see them there. The tea table was set for 8, with saucers, cups, and silver plate. The cakes were fresh, the service gleamed, yet no one would arrive, it seemed. Her company in no demand left her a cup for every hand. How many hands would a spider have? 8. 9 spotted moths kept safe and warm in shelter from a thunderstorm. They stood beneath an open sash and watched the jagged lightning flash. Miss Spider dropped down on a thread, a silver tray above her head. She hoped to please them, but instead, they flew away in mortal dread. Oh no, they're also afraid of her. Spiders love to eat other bugs and they know it. They've left me all alone, she cried. She dabbed her eyes and sadly sighed. It's plain no bug will ever stay. Her tears splashed down upon the tray. I kind of feel bad for her. 10 tiny steaming cups of tea were perched atop her trembling knee. She sipped and sobbed, then heard a cough and turned to see a small wet moth. A fragile thing so soaked by rain, his wings too damp to fly again. She smiled and took a checkered cloth to cloak the frail and thankful moth. They talked and snacked on tea and pie until his tiny wings were dry. Then lifting him with tender care, she tossed him gently in the air. Oh, she's nice. Look, he's got his little pie, he's flying away with it. The moth told Ike, and then Ike told May, who went from bug to say, there is no reason for alarm. She's never meant us any harm. So later on that afternoon, assembled in the dining room, 11 insects came to tea to share Miss Spider's courtesy. Oh, they're having a tea party. 12 tender violets in a vase presented at Miss Spider's place. Set by her chair so neatly spun, she munched the blossoms one by one. Her friends were glad to watch her feast upon the floral centerpiece. It was a great relief to see. She ate just flowers and drank just tea. Miss Spider's reputation grew. Before too long, our hostess knew each bug who crawled or hopped or flew, and all their lovely children too. Oh, they learned that she was nice. Look, she's got so many bug friends now. Such a great book. I love that book. All right, now, very quickly, I want to take you to my kitchen, and we're going to take a peek at the tadpoles who have been eating and eating and eating and eating and eating, and I would not even be surprised if we don't see them eating when we go in there now, because they are growing so big. And remember how we were calling the big one Butch? Butch is starting to get some teeny tiny legs, and it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them, but they're going to start growing faster, and especially the more they keep eating. So let's go see what the tadpoles are up to. Come along. Alrighty, friends, here we are in my kitchen taking a look at our tadpoles. And they have been so busy eating this morning. They're probably pretty full, so I don't see them eating right now. Let's see, this guy right here, this one's Butch. He's the biggest one, and he's starting to grow some little legs. I know it's really impossible to see on the video, but we'll keep our eyes open for him to keep getting bigger and bigger, and we'll be sure to show you when there's something more interesting to see. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.